many seconds would that be? 10 seconds, and we'll do the transition there.
Okay, take it. Hey everybody, I'm back, and this time I know my content. So I'm actually just as nervous. I was going to say I wasn't as nervous. So first year that I worked remote, I worked for 2 different companies, and I want to compare them, and I'll tell you about what the first slide has, because it's on my phone, and you'll see it. Yeah, first year remote. So I worked for 2 different companies because the first one was terrible, and you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of jobs in a year. And then I want to also talk about the differences, other than the difference between those two, the things that you hear about remote work that aren't true, that are true, and then the ones that surprise me. Hopefully some of them are surprised to you too, because some of them were like exactly what you expected. But before we get to that, let me talk about those 2 companies. So first year, they were both remote. They were both a little bit of travel, like every 2 or 3 months. They both said they were remote friendly. One was not. The differences were stark, and so I wanted to let you know what to look for if you want to try the remote gig. The first place, I was the voice on the conference call. I wasn't really an employee. I was the guy that was like, hey, can you guys hear me? And second place was awesome. They sponsored this, New Context. Most of my team was remote, and it worked out really well because you're not an exception. You're just another employee. So who here's remote? Have you ever gone to a conference call or a Zoom or a video call and they had the meeting without you because they were in the hallway and they never went to the room it was assigned in? Forgot you existed? Yeah, that was one of the big differences. So in the first place, they used Link, and so the problem with one-on-one messaging I'm realizing is you only use it once you go, hey, I need to go tell Dane this, or I need to go ask Dane a question. But in something like Slack, which is room-based, it's more like an office where you overhear conversations. So between Slack and Zoom and Screen Hero pairing sessions with a team that was also remote, it didn't feel exceptional to be on one of those things. It felt like this is how I do my job. Most of my job was in Slack or these remote asynchronous communication tools. So if you want to try this, what I want you to look for is look for places where the whole team isn't necessarily in the same time zone. That'll test them to work asynchronously. Look for a place that'll interview you without you coming to the office, like that they trust their remote skills well enough that they'll interview you without you being there. And so some of the things that are true. Belts, pants, showering quickly became optional. I think I'm on shower 3 today because I was talking of the week, not for the day. But the thing that I knew would be true, which my commute would go away, but was way better than I expected, is how much time you get back. Oh my gosh. I've gotten better at cooking and playing piano, and I see my kid when she gets off the bus because I don't have to drive anywhere. Some of the things that people say about remote work that I don't agree with and did not turn out to be true is this idea I'm at home, so now I'm going to goof off and watch ESPN and play games, and this guy's in the office playing games. You just look more productive at work because your boss can look over your shoulder and you'll go real quick, switch to your editor. Yeah, look productive. See, I got code up. So if you hit Alt-Tab in Windows, it switches Windows. If you have to explain the joke, yep. So I mentioned cooking. So I've probably cooked more in the last 2 years than the first 8 years I was married. Like I said, I'm at the bus stop, getting back into piano. It's all because of that commute time, and it's also one of the things I've noticed is the asynchronous communication frees you to work when you feel like working. Now, sometimes that means you feel like working for 16 hours. Some people struggle with that because you never leave work. But if you create a separate space for that, you can avoid that. So, big surprise was, hey, Jess, my wife, why don't we just go somewhere else? Why don't I just go work from Montreal? And we did this. I lived in Montreal for a month. Last 2 jobs, I've seen everything in this list. People working from other continents or on boats. Sometimes people will shift their working hours to match the home base's working hours, and so work at kind of odd times, but you don't always have to. But to me, the biggest difference there is it's a life experience instead of just a travel 4-day weekend, 1 week or whatever. One surprise that wasn't as much fun is, I don't know if you guys know me, I'm very social, like to talk to people, and staying at my house all week eventually became oh, hey wife, hey kids, I need out of here. So I discovered the co-working space. I use Think Big over on Maine. It is awesome. Go to do that once or twice a week. Stay friends with people that aren't your immediate family, and keep your sanity. It's fantastic. Or you might not want to. I talk too much. That is funny. About now I'm in an office space. I can't stop talking to people. I can't get to work. There are a lot of perks I can sell you on, but just trust me, you want to figure out if the company understands how to have you work remotely before you try it. I told you some things to look for, but also try to evaluate if it's right for you, because I don't think it's right for everybody, but it's definitely right for some of the time for everybody. So I want you to try it with your team, because it's definitely a nice change of pace for how to work. Collaborating asynchronously for me has been one of the most freeing things, especially as I started a family. So one thing I want you to try, get your team together, see if you guys want to try this, and all take the same day to work from home. Typically when people have flexible work from home hours, one guy's gone on Tuesday, one chick's gone on Friday. That's not it. Everybody go work from home, but don't do it on like a snow day when the whole office kills the VPN or something. Thank you.